Tell me about The Housewives. Do you feel that
Oh,
it
for
gave you what you
sure.
wanted?
You cannot get this kind of publicity for the love of money overnight. 192 countries, Netflix. What an experience.
You have such a story to tell. How much of that really comes out in Reza?
My mistakes have been my biggest learnings. I learned you don't compromise on quality. That's what you build your reputation on. Nobody's doing what I'm doing.
You've raised a beautiful daughter. What kind of a legacy do you want to leave for her?
She's the only thing I've done perfectly. I brought my daughter up on my own. It was 4.5 years without asking for a single penny of alimony. People talk about teams. They say, can we get in touch with the team? I said, darling, you're looking at the team.
Welcome, Kalyani. Today we have Kalyani Saha Chawla. I don't have words to describe her. I know her as a very dear friend. But along the way, I've seen her as a serial entrepreneur and a fighter to establish a lot of things in life and get where she's got. And I have full respect for this lady. So, welcome, Kalyani.
Thank you. If you start calling me Kalyani, I get very scared.
Okay, so she's always been addressed by me as K. So, let's go from here. Kay, tell us a little bit about yourself. I've been asked to, my team has set up all these questions about you and Dior and all the other things that you are synonymous with. But I want you to talk a little bit about yourself, about your grandmother, about your life in Calcutta before you came into Delhi.
So when I left, then of course I'm also very patriotic. Q, you know that about me. I'm a very proud Indian, and no matter where I am in the world, when I was working with Dior, which we come to later, they say, "Oh, here comes the Indian ambassador." So literally, like that, I got that from my maternal grandparents, my grandfather, and I feel very, very
Yeah, he was a freedom
strong.
fighter.
Yes, and gave their blood for the freedom we enjoy right now. And my grandmother, my nani, she was just this traditional woman, and at heart, I am a very traditional girl, and I can run around in Dior frocks, but at the end of the day, that's who I am. And I think these four amazing personalities shaped who I am today. And yes, I was a serial entrepreneur. I left home at a very young age. I went to Madras to set up with my first job at the Oberoi Hotels. I worked with Mr. Oberoi himself. He taught me about what luxury is truly about in terms of a customer, what they expect. And you can grow up in the kind of background I have, but the business angle of luxury, the business of luxury, I learned from Mr. Oberoi himself. I was so fortunate because he interviewed me. I was sitting like this because I was so nervous, and he was on the phone, and I was just seeing that beautiful custom velvet moccasin shoes he was wearing with PRS written on it. I was like, oh my God, that's cool. And he was basically asking for a suite which had just been renovated at the Oberoi Grand in Calcutta to be torn down, because he said that is not salmon, it is pink. I did get the job. One of the first things I did was to go see the suite. It wasn't pink, but it wasn't salmon. That's the day I realized that you can never compromise. And I learned that from him. He would remember everything, every little detail in his empire and so many hotels. And that one painting behind a door at the first Trident, which I went to set up with the team in Madras, and he didn't like that one particular Mysore painting. It wasn't even visible like that. He came back for the next AGM. He's saying, Sajan Maja at that time, has that painting been removed? The painting wasn't removed. But he
Man of precision.
you understand that until today with my raison, silverware that I do, if I can see things in a second. And my production manager once said, but I can't see it, and I don't think anyone can. I'm like, I can. I don't care if anyone else can. I can. I'm not going to sell it. just redo it, kind of a situation. So
Mm.
I learned you don't compromise on quality. And I think that's what you build your reputation on, because business is all about integrity more than anything else.
So when you slipped into Dior, it was more like they wanted you to sort of represent them in India.
I've just always been there, newspapers, because of my art exhibitions, which I had with my mother. And there was no page three really, but I was there in the front page. Then,
Mm.
Times and Hindustan Times and page threes happened. No one had to pay for anything. I've never
Nobody had
paid
to
for
pay
a
for
damn
anything.
thing
Yeah.
in my life till
Yeah.
now. And I'm really proud to say
Yeah.
that,
Same
right?
here.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Never had to pay. Like now, the question doesn't arise about
Mm.
paying for. I
Yeah.
mean, and thank God we're known for our work. We're
Yeah.
known to, I was written always about my art exhibitions first. And then
Wow, I didn't know that.
yes, I remember when we did Aisha, Ria and Sonam's first film, directorial as well as Sonam's. And Sonam came for fittings in my factory.
Mm.
And Tyra was so tiny and she was like sitting on the floor just staring at Sonam.
Mm.
So cute. And I did a cameo in Aisha, which was cut out. I have no idea why, to bring it up with Anil seriously now. But I think it was a first. Aisha was like a Dior ad. They did a scene in the Dior boutique. That's the scene where I was.
Mm.
I kept saying, "Hi, Sonam, good to see you." And I was like supposed to say, "Hi, Aisha," And yeah, it was so sweet. It was great memories, and it was yeah, the Lady Dior bag was sold out, and I think I'm proud to say that I changed the actress on the red carpet from the sari to the gown. And they got that really quickly
Mm.
because, like Aishwarya, I remember she was going for IFA, and the IFA carpet is a green carpet. And I called her and I said, I want you to try on this one red dress. She was also going with Abhishek for the first time on the red carpet. And I said, if it fits you, please wear it. It fit her. She looked amazing, like she always does.
Mm.
And we called it the Aishwarya dress,
Oh.
red dress. I mean, there are 100 stories like
Yeah.
this, I mean, Preeti, who was so big, uh, John Galliano's 10th year in Dior, and 60 years of Dior. And it was 1947. So it kind of clashed with, not clash, it's also 1947, the year of our independence.
Yes,
Such a
yes.
special year,
And what was the most controversial thing that you think that you did with Dior? Or
Nothing. When I joined Dior, they were entering India. It was an emerging market, which is still emerging, but never mind that.
mm,
But there was a lot of promise to what was going to happen in India at that time. I'm
yeah,
talking about 2006.
yeah,
There was no luxury mall. There were barely any retail of luxury brands. Chanel was here before that, and Louis Vuitton, Yves Castel, Indophile,
mm,
loved India, knew everybody,
mm,
been coming for ages, and he had signed up, but Dior hadn't. We opened this store at the Oberoi
mm.
in Delhi, and it's really funny how we opened that store. So many stories, Q. We don't have so much time.
We don't
But
have
the
so much time.
President Chirag, who
Yeah.
came, who was on a state visit, I got Madame Chirag to come and cut the ribbon. I don't
Mm,
even know how I did what I did those days. And now that I'm talking about it, I remember that. Got
mm,
the first lady, and she was the biggest Dior fan. And all the presidents have worn Dior extensively,
mm,
And when Carla Bruni came, I met her and I said, you've made my job so easy, because she wore Dior from morning till night when she was here. So fortunate to meet all these people
mm,
and presidents and their wives.
mm,
I mean, it's just unbelievable,
mm,
the kind of experiences. But it was honestly one of the most beautiful and fulfilling and enriching experiences, but even with my own business. And I think what has ruled my whole ethos of my life is having opportunities, getting opportunities, so fortunate, the risks that it came with, and taking them on. But I've always taken on things which I thought I could do, and my mistakes have been my biggest learnings. And God knows I've made enough mistakes. But more so on my personal life, the mistake bit, than the work front. But I think
But
I
tell
have
me,
no
if
regrets.
you look at luxury today and you look at luxury 20 years ago,
Yeah.
when it was first making its foray into India, do you find that there has been much change in it, except that you have malls today which have luxury brands? Do you feel that there?
The whole perception of retail sea change, right? The first,
But do you find, sorry to interject, but do you find that luxury today is with the moneyed people in India and not so much with the, the people, like how internationally, even if you're not moneyed, you're just dying for a Dior bag or a Chanel bag. You're just dying for it and you work towards it. The
right,
craze of
the
that, owning that
aspirational buyer, yeah,
aspirational, or that,
yeah,
that craze for to own a luxury,
yeah, brand, yeah.
brand. Don't you find that it's more like nesting with the moneyed people because they feel that that spells status?
Yes, I think there is that as well. Um, I love the Novorish, love. They are the ones who spend money.
No, but
Old money is almost gone.
tell
No, jokes
me,
aside, I
yeah.
think, if today I am making X amount of money, right? I deserve to treat myself, whether it's a holiday, whether it's staying in a good hotel, whether it's wearing the right, for me, whatever, like good clothes, or wearing a
But do
designer
you
brand,
think
or
that a girl who's making enough money today in India
yeah,
would go and buy herself a Dior
100%.
bag,
100%.
even if she's not in the elite rich? Or
I think
would you
it's a
say that?
great I think it's a great validation of your hard work. I think it's a great validation for yourself. And I think sometimes, yes, of course, like if a young girl today is working hard and entry level, you buy yourself a really cool pair of sunglasses, which are on your face, probably the most used thing in India. We are always wearing sunglasses with the tropical weather we live in, etc. But also, yes, it's on your face. It's like you can't miss it. Like, you don't know what I'm wearing. It is a really nice brand, but but the glasses you see. So you see, these are these entry level points, like a sunglass, which is not, well, it's expensive, but it's still affordable, and you can save up that little money to buy yourself a product like that, or a
You
small
think there
leather.
is a lot of
No,
aspirational buyer?
100%. So there's in the whole landscape of luxury has changed over time. Now, also the younger generation is very woke today about where fashion and what it means today, where luxury is, the prices that people are saying, whether you have the money or not. I think the resale market, it's really fashionable to go to, a Vestiaire and buy a pre-loved luxury item. For example, nobody wants to pay those prices. How these brands, I mean, we all know like what it takes to get a bag from Hermes. I mean, honestly, do they want to sell those bags? I don't think so. And they don't care, because one is it's so expensive. Two is, today you have to buy crockery, cutlery, ties, kerchiefs, scarves, shawls. It's the Birkin fund, as I call it. It's almost silly. I think it's really humiliating for a customer, and I want to say it out there, because why? And if you really want one of those bags, you can actually get it for a price, maybe a little bit more, at any of these pre-loved places. I mean, I was in New York. I mean, I went to Real. So sad that they've shut down for whatever, reasons, business-wise. I went to What Goes Around Comes Around. It's everything is available. You want a Birkin? It's there. Okay, it's limited. May not be the one that you want, but I mean, it's there. So
Mm.
it's not that it's not available.
Yeah.
But then if you're officially wanting to be an Hermes customer, obviously, and I'm not going to sell Birkins right now over here, but the perception of luxury has changed. I think people are wanting to spend their money more on experiences.
But even in trousseaux, like
Yeah,
people come, they say, we need an Hermes bag,
yeah.
kahin se lekar aao,
Hmm.
or we need a Dior, or whatever it is, Chanel,
Limited edition,
ye
this,
zarur
that.
chahiye, we have to put this in.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
becomes
It's
people don't even understand luxury. They just
no,
understand the name.
the name,
They
the
don't even
brand.
understand the brand.
Yeah.
They understand just the
Mm.
name. So I think that's the little mix of that is happening in India. I mean,
No, when
I'm talking
I,
about in a larger scale. I'm
yeah,
not talking
yeah.
about the elite who really
Yeah,
understand.
but Q, there were very few who really were so designer oriented
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when Dior came into India, for example, way back. And then even the one of my main functions at that time, I quickly realized, was honestly education of what brand hierarchy was also about.
Mm.
It's not, I'm going to take names, but Dior is not the same as XYZ because it's a foreign brand, or so. And then slowly, Emporio happened, and
Mm.
et cetera, et cetera. Now there's so many. There's Geo in Bombay, and these malls that have come up, Palladium, etc. But it happened many, many, many years later.
Mm.
But there
But are
was
they selling? Are they doing
no.
well?
I'm sure they are.
Mm.
Everyone,
Because
they're not.
everybody travels now.
That's the thing, that everyone's traveling, number
Mm.
one, unless you're really desperate. But you'd be surprised how many
People are not traveling.
gifting.
Yeah, gifting.
Gifting, like someone's birthday, you've forgotten, you dash into Dior and buy a bag, and you want to spend X amount of money, and nothing better than a lovely Lady Dior, which is
Yeah.
classic, and it just, oh yeah, the gifting. I live in Delhi, and my silverware, I think it, like, of course, people buy for their own home. So I have worked with a lot of interior decorators and all that, and of course, individual customers. But the amount of gifting, people are really generous with gifting. And then also, you see, you get an expensive gift, you do get an expensive gift back. So, it's
Yeah.
like a cycle which is
Yeah.
never ending.
Right.
And so, gifting is, I think, a big, big, big point of sale. So, when I was exporting with Vishal, so I made a lot of, he comes from a silverware background, and we made some products, okay, mix, because I was doing leather bags, but I designed a whole product line of silver and leather together. So there were these photo frames with silver
Mm.
edges, and it was very contemporary, very cool. And I basically got into this business, which I think silver, I always thought, had a huge potential,
Mm.
much more than what is available. Also, in a very contemporary manner, not many people are doing it, and
Mm.
whoever is doing it is the same old, same old, same old.
Mm.
And my sense of design and creativity, I can very, very, it's not a sweeping statement. Honestly, nobody's doing what I'm doing.
Mm.
The product line I have over 1,500 SKUs. It is staggering. Ask me if I have any product, I have it. From a caviar bowl to thali sets to the best bar sets to to floor pieces, the most beautiful centerpieces, my product line for babies and gifting, because I'm a consumer. I know what I want. I am very home proud. I love interiors. I know what is required. I've
Mm.
made chandeliers. I keep adding on products. Nobody's doing all this. People are very particular about the things that they make, which is perfect and great. I'm also the most copied brand. Razon is copied by every brand. And when I'm saying every, I want to stress on the word every. Every brand is copying me. People are stealing my workers. Unfortunately, they're poor people. Okay.
Mm.
So it is actually quite disgusting. that
Where is your
this
factory?
in Noida, everything is in-house. Everything is made in-house. I don't outsource anything except the semi-precious stones which come from Jaipur, which are
Mm.
cut by particular masters
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
that particular craft. And you're
Mm.
in the business of stones, so you know it's very particular. And yeah, it's kind of frustrating to see how much, and the shameless copies, they don't even
Mm.
tweak it. I saw something on Instagram and I posted it. I said, have some shame. I
Mm.
didn't name the brand. Why give them publicity? But copies are copies. You get
Mm.
a, I
It
mean,
happens in every. It
in
happens in jewelry all
everything.
the time.
Bags, I mean, the
Yeah.
amount of Hermes bags I
Yeah.
see, and in Delhi, even Hermes doesn't know they have those colors and shapes and
Yeah.
sizes. But
But
honestly,
even Hermes
yeah.
can't tell that
No, no,
they
it's such
copy
good copies,
sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah.
But these are not good copies, unfortunately. They're cheap
Mm.
copies, which I think makes me even more upset,
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is actually sad.
But you have such a story to tell
Mm.
right from the time that you were a little girl and your roots. How much of that really comes out in Raison?
Everything, everything. I mean, this one particular thali set I have is a very traditional thali set, but it is not simple because if you look at the detail, but the detail I've put in. Now, it's a simple set which I remember. I mean, we used to eat on thalis, no, when we were growing up. And my grandmother every Sunday used to have this person, because she was so particular, sit and polish all the silver.
Mm.
So I said, I just want something traditional, but it obviously has to have some, because everyone in India, silver buyers, they
Mm.
all have silver thalis,
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
that they've inherited,
Yeah.
things that have been given by parents, etc. And I wanted to make that thali, but it's one of my highest selling because it's so contemporary in its simplicity, and it's got that detail only when you can see it.
I want to see it.
You must, because it's beautiful, and you must get a set queue. But honestly,
But
I think a lot.
when you promote it,
Yeah,
do you allow the story to come out?
I'm a storyteller, as you
Yeah, I
know.
know, but I'm just saying
It
that.
always does. Raison is very personal. And if you see my Instagram, if you see, I do so much bug on Instagram, it works really well. There's always a story.
But are the prices luxury or they premium?
It starts from 5,500 rupees. Silver's a lakh 40 today.
Mm.
And people don't understand that even if it's plated, but what I'm giving them, you you can't
But it's
firstly.
only plated, or you're doing
No,
some silver?
silver as well, of
Yeah.
course. I mean, it's a silverware brand.
Yeah.
But, people are buying more and more plated, because
Mm.
even for weddings that I'm doing now, sitting and talking to all these parents, I mean, literally, you're giving 250, 300 gifts out.
Mm.
Today, even a photo frame, the simplest photo frame, it's really expensive.
Mm.
It's not a matter, it doesn't matter how wealthy you are. There's a limit to how much you want to also spend.
Right.
And these are gifts, because there's only one of the expenses. There are 100 other expenses. You'd rather give beautiful jewelry to your children, your daughter especially, etc. Buy silver for her, for the thali sets, and etc. etc. So it's just become preposterous. Silver is a new gold now.
But is it sort of your polish? Does it stay on?
So we
It will
tarnish.
tarnish,
We
yeah.
tarnish. So you can't. So I will never make a thali set in plated.
Mm.
I tell people, you want me to make your thali set in plated? You know what? I'll make it for you. You'll come back crying, because the haldi stain will not go.
Yeah.
This, that. You try and polish and clean, and it'll become black. And because I can't lacquer it. It's not food friendly. So anything you eat and drink out of, you can't lacquer. So if you don't lacquer,
Interesting.
it will tarnish, right? So my tarnish, I spend, my micron of plating is very high. People say what they say, 10 microns. Nobody, especially today with the silver pricing, nobody's doing. My micron of silver plating is very high, which basically means, and that's why the other day, and I was in Hyderabad, and somebody came to my exhibition and said, I bought something from you 6 years ago. She was in Delhi. She bought something. Till today, it sits in my house. There's not a dot on it. Your quality is so good. I'm like, please, can you say this on camera? Like, please, can you validate? But obviously, she wasn't the kind of lady who would want to kind of come on camera. They're private. And she's one of my biggest buyers, because honestly, it's a quality. Because no matter what you do, it's all about integrity again back. You can say anything you want, you can do what you want, whether you spend 5,000 or 5 lakhs. You have paid money to buy something. And the way you capture an audience, whether you will always go back to that person, is one that is quality, is the design, and third is, I think, the price point. These are the three main things of a consumer, what you're looking for. And as a seller, my designs are unique. Nobody makes what I make. So that's the first thing that attracts you is, oh, how beautiful. Oh, what nice quality. Oh my God, really? That's really cool. I just had my exhibition. 3 of my friends told me, it's like, okay, I mean, what are these prices? Like, I said, should I double it? No, 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 I'm buying it. Don't double it, please. Like, no,
But
don't.
tell me a little bit about the housewives. Looking back,
Yes.
did you enjoy it? Do you feel good to be a part of it? Do you feel that
Oh,
it
for
gave you what you
sure.
wanted?
For sure. I mean, you cannot get this kind of publicity for the love of money. Uh, Overnight, 192 countries, Netflix. I was in New York, and these little kids running around me. The NRIs are crazy about anything to do with Bollywood. You know that. What an experience! I'm just so honored I was asked. I was a bit reticent. I was in my full potential. I think. I was, because I'll tell you why.
No, you were not.
I was not,
You were
and I was
quieter one.
I was the quieter one.
And you are not a quiet one.
I'm not a quiet
So
one.
it was not you that was there in
Yeah,
Bollywood.
and
I
you
kept
told
thinking
me that.
at some point she's going to speak.
Yeah.
At some point she's going to interject and say what she thinks, and you didn't.
No, I think I was very conscious about the fact that, being a businesswoman, of course, I'm looking, like, at some point for investors or whatever. So, there's that whole businesswoman
Sophistication.
image. And I think I was myself as well. You don't have to be vociferous all
Not
the time.
vociferous,
Yeah.
but your thought process, or
Yeah.
your like how I've known you for the last so many decades.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that you are thinking, but you're not verbalizing.
Yeah.
And
But
so
I think
sometimes I wanted to say that speak. Everybody else is speaking, and
Yeah.
sometimes
I
talking
think
nonsense.
edit was also important, but also, I mean, it's a 7-woman show. I said a lot, like, on the VDs about, in a fun way, because I do have a wicked sense of humor. I spoke a lot about things that it's not the platform, it's a reality show. Like, you can't talk about women empowerment and not yawn. No one's watching reality shows for that. So you have to be entertaining, and there were enough people to entertain. I was my authentic self. But after a year, it's been almost a year since the show came out, I have people coming up to me now saying, we don't know you, but you're so relatable. As a single parent. Karan told me this, and we had a chat, and he's saying that, it's rare that at my age and stage, I have a grown up child. She's 26 years old, but I still spoke about love, for example, finding love, and things that women my age don't even talk about.
What do you think about
And,
love?
ooh, I think, I've been in love. I've been out of love. I've been in love again. I've been out of love again. I think no regrets.
But
Love is love.
Do you
And
think
it's
that
just,
real love comes only one time, or do you think
No.
you can have that real love many times?
Many times. You can. I think at every stage of your life, love means and has different connotations. When we were in our 20s, it was love, puppy love, Mills and Boons, all that kind of
Romance.
stuff. Romance. I'm still a romantic. That bit has stayed on. I'm this incorrigible romantic Bengali, whatever. But 30s it was something else, then you become a mother, then you become, we've also evolved as women.
Yeah, yeah.
Our whole perception, our experiences, I mean, but yeah, there's love. You don't, even if you're 80 years old, like I'm not dead. I mean, of course I have desires. Of course I want to be loved. I have so much love to
What do
give.
you think about women who give up on love?
I don't think anyone does, and they're talking nonsense. We say, oh, we don't need a man. You may not need a man. I don't need a man for anything. You know how independent I am. Actually, I'm so thankful. Like I see my friends around me. Nobody's asking. I can just pack my bags and tomorrow leave to see my daughter if I have to. No one's asking me what time I'm coming home. No one's saying you've just come home. Again, you need to go out now. No, I can't hack that. Like, no. But maybe at this age and stage of my life, I do want that. You want to feel wanted, you want to feel needed, so there are two sides of the coin, and the grass is always greener on the other side. And Q, I'll be honest, I do miss having a companion. I do miss having someone to come home to or wake up with. I hate Sundays. I'm like, what am I going to do? But I'm in comatose on Sundays if I'm not working. And, I haven't had a Sunday off in the longest time, because then on Sundays, I want to do content. I want to shoot. I get these photographers. I said, let's do, because I just don't want to be sitting at home
Sitting,
alone. I don't even have a dog. I don't
but
have
you are a
nothing.
workaholic.
Yeah. So
And I relate to that.
Sundays
Can
I'm
understand.
working. I'm
Yeah.
just doing content for Rezon and, doing stuff. It's insane. I because every time I feel like I come to Bombay, back to back, back to back, back to back. I came for my event last night, which you were at, but I say, Q, I'm here. We want to do this, and like, let's do it, because if I'm here, let me make it completely kind of productive.
Yeah.
Because maybe I can't come back to do this with you again, and you of course will leave for London, etc., etc., etc. So I do this to myself. I was telling my assistant, and she's like, but ma'am, you do this to yourself. I was like, I couldn't speak yesterday. I was so tired.
You've raised a beautiful daughter, and she is independent, has her own thought process, obviously very influenced by you. And what is it that you would like her mainly to remember about you? What kind of a legacy do you want to leave for her?
I think she's the only thing I've done perfectly. I'm so proud of my little girl. She wanted to stay back. She went to boarding school when she was 11 and a half years old, and she's been there from prep school, college, and now she's in the art world. She was briefly in fashion, and funnily enough, got a job offer from Dior. And they didn't know she was my daughter. Then, of course, they did, but she didn't, because anyway, she's grown up with art thanks to my mother, and I've dragged her from every museum around the world. Now she's done that to me. Everywhere we go, she's like, Mom, this art is happening, that gallery's having this show. So that's what, miles and miles of walking in New York, just a couple of months ago. And I'm like, Tara, I can't believe. She's like, Mom, you remember those days? I said, yes, I remember. So, they all grow up to be like Tiara's doing jewelry now. Obviously, seeing you, it's like when she told me she wanted to do her graduation. I said, what do you want to do? And she said, I wanted her to become a lawyer. I'm like, all the money that I've spent on lawyers, bring it back. I think everyone needs a lawyer in the family in the days
Lawyer
that
and
we
a
live in.
doctor.
Lawyer and a doctor. And so she said, I want to study art history. That's what I want to graduate in. I'm like, what? Such a pleasant surprise. And my mother would have been so, so thrilled. And so, yeah, because I ran an art gallery with my mom for so long, as you know. And I think it's the influences that you grew up, and that they are all
And
a
they're easy.
reflection.
They're easy with that atmosphere because
Yes.
they know that.
They know,
that
yeah,
they know
exactly.
the surroundings are
Exactly.
familiar.
Exactly.
So I feel the children thrive in a surrounding that's familiar to them,
Of course.
you know?
And what they've been influenced
Yeah.
by. You know what I mean? I mean, Tiara today knows about jewelry because of you.
Yeah.
You know, Tahira knows about art, or she appreciates art even more now because she's grown up with it, you know, between my mom and me. And she wanted to stay on in London. She didn't want to come back, and she wanted to work, which she is right now. I didn't want to force, it's her journey. Every day I wish she would come back because I can triple what I'm doing now single handedly. One woman army. People talk about teams. They say, can we get in touch with the team? I said, darling, you're looking at the team. This is the team. There's no team. It's me. So literally, it is. And, you know, struggles of an entrepreneur every day. So I keep thinking, I wish Tyra was here. Recently, she's gotten very interested in how I don't have a website. I said, Challo ji. Now, to whatever little was to be copied, that also will be copied in full glory. And she's like, that is no reason for you not to have a website. So she's restructuring my social media and my, you know, how I should be. I'm so thrilled. I never ever thought she would be interested
Because
remotely.
even for us, we stayed away from social media
Yeah.
and making a website only because of the designs are going to be copied. And of course, the designs were copied.
Yeah.
Even when we put them out on social media, we don't make it as a close up
Yeah.
because they will 100% be copied.
100% be copied.
But that
yeah.
is that
But you're
is how
losing
it
a
is.
lot.
You're losing a lot,
lot.
especially in today's day and age where there is so much of online purchases,
I mean,
and especially for your brand,
yes,
because it's affordable.
it's affordable.
Yeah.
Also, we ship worldwide.
Yeah.
So I think she got frustrated because a lot of her friends' mothers are asking for my website. She's saying, Mom, it just sounds so unprofessional that she has an Instagram. Like, that's not professional. But going back to Tahira, she's made me very proud. She's the most non-demanding child. Nobody believes that I don't pay a penny. She earns her money, and she said, Mom, because I told her, I said, honey, your education has kind of I have a bank balance because of that. She's like, oh God, like, no. She is the most independent. I don't pay a penny. No one believes me when I say this, Q. Nobody does.
That's amazing,
And
because
she
London is a very
survives on
expensive.
her own
Yeah.
and has the best life, best friends, best lifestyle, and she's done it on her own. And you know, talk about brands. I mean, today she opened the Wimbledon party that they had with Ralph Lauren, for example, and she was in the Tatler most eligible list of UK. Friends of mine send me the Tatler. She's like, Mom, don't you dare post it. I'm like, why? But in a lot of ways, she's the opposite of me, and she's like, no, I'm not an influencer. And I'm like, no, but I feel so
Achievement.
proud.
Yeah.
She was the only brown kid in when she went to prep school. She's the only Indian child. And, she's never ever felt that, because I think she's always had that personality. And the stories that I used to hear from parents when she was 11 and a half, so 12 years old, parents coming up to me saying, thanks to your daughter, my daughter has settled in. I'm like, what? Really? Like, gosh, Again, I was working at Dior, so why did I send her all the way to England? Because I could see her every 3 weeks. So because of my travels. And then they come home so often. I'm like, dude, I sent you to boarding school. You're back again? Because there's so many
Holidays in London, yeah. So now I'm going to do the rapid fire round. Pick your top 3 Dior products.
The Lady Dior bag. Anything Galliano. I am so fortunate to have a lot of Galliano.
Lucky girl.
Yes. Yeah, nothing like vintage Galliano, I think. They're my most precious. And of course, anything and everything that I have from my grandmothers. I don't want to sound like Miss India, but actually it's true.
A luxury icon you trade wardrobes with for a week.
A luxury icon. I think Isabella Blow, because I love headgear. I love hats. I wear like things for, yeah. Oh my God, what a collection she has. Yeah.
Apart from Dior, your go-to three brands.
Homegrown brands like a Lovebirds, for example. How adorable is that brand? I wear a lot of Lovebirds. I mean, that's a brand that immediately comes to mind because I wear a lot of it. But I love Yumi. Yumi is this, again, they use all the women, who do their block printing, and
Mm-hmm.
they're really, really supporting women. They're Natasha and Shilpa. Like, I really believe in what they are doing. The fabric is amazing and beautiful prints and Indian, like kurta pajamas, really chic kaftans, like really, really cool brands. So you, me. Third brand, I think I love what PDFK is doing. Gauravi Kumari. She's again. I love these brands not just for the beauty because it's so contemporary. These little scarves, these quilted jackets. I wear it when I travel. So light and easy to. And my love for Rajasthan and Jaipur in particular. But again, empowering women. So there's a story, and I like to,
Nice,
yeah,
very nice.
I like to support that.
The one fashion rule you always break. You always break.
I always break rules, Queenie.
I know you do, but tell me about fashion
I
rules.
have never
I
followed.
know you break love rules, you break all kinds of rules,
Yeah,
but
I have never followed trends. I am the trend. Yeah, I don't follow trends.
a power accessory that never fails you.
Power accessory is, I think, my mind. The way at this age and stage, I can be a bit pompous. Um, I can talk to a tree. I can talk to anyone. I am very engaging. I am anything but boring. And
I
I
think it's your
have,
legacy too.
it's my legacy. I can talk about any subject. And I think that makes me a very interesting person.
Yeah, it does. Your guilty pleasure fashion splurge.
It is clothes actually. And I don't have place to put a pin. I'm not a bag buyer because I have enough. It's not something like I have what I have. I'm not really a bag buyer. Surprisingly, I love luggage. I love good luggage because I travel a lot. So I love good luggage, and but it's clothes. Oh my God, I spend money on clothes. It's quite ridiculous actually because honestly, I don't need anything, but I'm trying to hold back, failing miserably.
If you weren't in luxury, you'd be
I'd probably, if I wanted luxury, I don't know. I
a
would, in
Bengali
terms of,
actress.
I would be an actress. Oh my God, I would be an actress and a
You
really
would
good
be an
one.
actress, or you could be a journalist, you could be an
Yeah.
author, you could be
I'm
a,
writing a book.
yeah.
It's
But I'm
been
just
happening
thinking
for
of
the
the
last
things you could
12
be.
years. Yeah, all of the above.
Yeah, you could be any of these. One luxury
I am
brand
writing a book,
you are
though.
on.
It's about 12 years. I mean, it's going to be fiction. It's going to be called It Wasn't Me, Part 1.
Well, you better get on with it so you have a part two. One luxury brand you secretly think is all hype and no soul. You can't say?
You know,
You can say.
no, I mean, I just feel that there's too much hype. It's like, there's so much hype about everything. Marketing has taken over, social media has taken over. Yeah, someone has a
The
million
world has
million
changed.
followers, but
Hmm.
look at the quality of
Hmm.
followers.
And look
I
at the
have
quality
never
of the person.
look at the quality of the person. Look what they're trying to
Yeah.
sell. Look at it. It's just such a. But Q, this is changing. Every brand, no one's looking at your million followers. It's seeing your content and what you're
Hmm.
doing. Who's the quality over quantity is coming back today. And I think it had to at some stage. It is so obvious if you have 200 comments, it's so obvious it's a bot, bots. So I went through this whole bot thing, wasn't a very pleasant experience. But I know how it works. You can buy comments, you can buy likes, you can buy followers, you can buy everything. Everything is up for sale. There's no authenticity. That's what I'm telling you. After a year, when people come up to me, it's the best compliment. They said, we are entertained. And I said, we see you now, and it's like you are your authentic self. People who don't know me. So people who know me may have initially said that, "K,
Yeah,
you think,"
but
but
the thing is that,
authenticity and the
yeah,
integrity that it brings, that's long term.
Kalyani, it was really lovely to have you. Thank you for being on Be
Oh my God.
Banter.